I've never noticed. I've never been in the driver's seat over here. I got all these extra buttons.
Oh,
you're in the driver's seat. How does it feel?
I know. I feel very, very impressed. I don't know how I feel.
Don't lower your voice and whisper.
I'm saying, you soften that up. Yeah, like, are we sentimental? Is that how we're feeling?
Not sure
it
how
seems
I
like.
feel.
Wait, let me cross my legs here. How do we feel today, Tony?
Tell me, how does that make you feel?
This is the Five Dirty Bikers podcast, brought to you by Wild Ass Seats, keeping your rear in gear for the long haul. Join the Five Dirty Bikers on YouTube and chat with us on Discord. Visit fivedirtybikers.com to get your apparel and everything else. Now sit back, grab a drink, and let's get dirty as we dive into the world of bikes, keeping it raw and real. Here are the Five Dirty Bikers.
Well, right now I couldn't cross my legs.
Yeah. You have all the power.
Isn't that from Princess Bride? So tell me, how did that make you feel?
Tell me.
Do you know that's one movie I've never seen?
You've never seen The Princess Bride?
And I get the same reaction every time I say it.
And you have little girls too, don't you?
I know. Yeah. I don't know if my wife has seen it with my daughter, but I've never. No,
I feel like now it's a matter of principle. You're not seeing it on purpose.
Yeah, no shit.
It's just like everyone knows now. If you're not on live TV anymore, we have every streaming service known to man. I have everything I want. So I will never be like, oh, Princess Brides. That seems like a good movie to watch. I'm going to watch the latest season of Cobra Kai, which I'm doing right now.
Oh, I just finished it. I finished it.
I'm not.
I'm in the middle.
I'm on the second to. I'm done. I have the last episode left. That's it. And oh my God, that's all I'm gonna say. It's just
a
such
kick back
great
to the
show.
'80s, man. I was like,
dude.
So
I know. Yeah, I was sidekicking the air, and my wife's like, "Oh my God!" And so 2 seasons ago. Here's my backstory on Cobra Kai. So I watched it on YouTube. You remember when they first released it as a YouTube series? Mm-hmm. You had to actually pay for premium to get it. I paid for premium. I was like, I'm not missing out on this.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
incredible.
I did too.
So when the shitty part is that when it came out on Netflix, it was the same. Like, it was just the same episodes for the first season or whatever.
Right.
Like, okay, well, I've seen these, but I'm still going to do it. So, like, at the first, my wife's like, well, I have no interest in that. Like, I don't give a shit about, Cobra Kai. That's your thing. Do your thing. Well, like, these past, 4 episodes, or whatever the second part of this last season is, she's just like, oh, wow. I'm in it. Yeah, I like it. I'll keep watching it.
Yeah,
good, dude. So good. Actually, I married my wife because she looked like Allie with an eye. That's half the reason I fell in love with my wife. And if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you can see her. And she gets that so often that it's not even fun anymore that she looks like Allie with an eye.
Well, I'll tell you, it's great. I really enjoy it.
Do you get the scrolling paralysis where you go into all of your 942 apps that you've paid for now for streaming to try to find something to watch, and there's nothing you can find to watch?
Oh, dude. Well, we finished a lot of them. So, like Netflix, we finished. Amazon, we've pretty much finished. I mean,
This is the one thing I noticed, and somebody told me to do this too, is that there's some way that you can reset the algorithm on those, because once you start watching a certain amount of things, that's all it shows you. So it shows you the stuff that falls into your interest realm. So you have to throw some curveballs at it so it brings more stuff forward. Otherwise, it just keeps hitting you with the stuff that you've already watched, right?
Well, I'll tell you, Apple's not very good at a lot of shit, but the stuff they release is all pretty good.
Oh my God. Everything on Apple Plus is amazing. There has not been one show on the Apple streaming service that we've watched that we just hated.
I'm the same way.
Bangers.
They just released that new movie, The Gorge.
Oh,
yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Fuck, it's good, dude.
Okay. What about did you guys watch C with Jason Momoa?
No. Oh, yeah. That was the first of the very first series they had when they came out.
Oh, you didn't watch that, Prentice? Oh, you need to watch C. It's really good. It's really good.
It's old, man.
Yeah, it's like a dystopian universe, but everybody's blind.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
see, that's the things they do, man.
Blind.
Like, Apple gets it right with the premises, and the what about the plots, like Severance. It's so good. You clock out from your normal life, and then brain warp into this dreamlike state of your work, and then it's just everything they do is so cool.
Dude, I'm telling you too, that Jason Sudeikis soccer show, fucking gold.
Oh,
Absolute
dude, that
gold.
was fucking great.
Just
It's
so
good.
good. I mean, you couldn't wait for that one angry guy.
What was the name of that fucking
to say
thing?
fuck again?
Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
Ted Lasso. That was
you couldn't wait for that angry guy to curse somebody out again because it was so funny. Like, he was
Roy Kent.
Yeah,
Roy Kent.
Such a mean
he was
asshole.
salty.
By the way, he's one of the writers of the show, just in case you guys were wondering.
Well,
he's in another
classic.
show that I watched called Shrinking. It's got Harrison Ford and
we've watched that one too.
Yeah, and so he's in that. And
nice.
I'm not going to tell you anything about it because it's a pretty big part that he plays in it, but he's just brilliant. He's a brilliant actor. Dude,
okay, so I got a story to tell you since we're on this movie kick right now. So I've been reading up a lot. I'm sure you guys have watched Yellowstone, right? And then you've probably watched 1883 and 1923 and all the spin-offs, right?
Yeah.
So the writer of all that was actually an extra on Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. I know the story.
And so the story is he's like the 14th or 15th person on the call sheet. He's making like $800 an episode. So he goes to the writers.
He was the sheriff.
Yeah, he was the sheriff. He goes to the writers and says, "Hey, like I need a raise. I can't live off of this." And they're like, "Sorry, dude." They're like, "We got nothing for you," and so they wrote him out of the show. And he happened to bring one of his. He brought a movie that he had done, and I don't remember the first movie that he got out there, and that got him traction. And then when he signed on with Paramount, they loved Yellowstone so much that's what allowed him to do Tulsa King and
Tulsa King.
The Kings of what's that other one? The prison one, Tony. What's that one?
Lord King of Lord fuck. King of Kingston.
Yeah,
the Lord of
Mayor Kingstown.
Yeah, the Mayor of Kingstown.
Yeah. So I mean, so like fast forward right to like 4 episodes into Yellowstone, he buys the fabled 6.6-inch ranch in Texas. He brings it back to life. Dude's worth like $300 million right now.
Wow,
and he's on fire.
Yeah, and he got cut off the call list of Sons of Anarchy.
So wait, question. So obviously he wasn't Sheriff Unser in Sons of Anarchy because he was through the whole series. So was he the one that drove the green Bronco?
He was got
hit and ran over.
Run over. Yep, that's him.
Wow,
Yep.
that's so cool. And I rewatched that whole series recently.
Yeah. And he actually plays a bit part in every one of his shows. So he was in Yellowstone. He always is a character role or something. At some
that
point
Lioness is a good one too.
Oh, Lioness
on
kicks
Paramount.
ass, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they're all good, dude. He doesn't have a bonk series yet.
No.
He did Tulsa King. Did I tell you guys the story of how I found out about Tulsa King?
No.
So my dad, right when I started to come onto the podcast, you guys remember, Ryan, you called me. I was in Tennessee because my dad was having heart issues, right? And, was in the hospital. So he literally has like heart surgery. I'm sitting in the room with him reading a book. Like I've been sitting there for hours, and he is out, like just post surgery out. Like in the middle of the day or the middle of his sleep, he jumps up and looks at me and goes, "Now Tulsa King. Now that's a good TV show," and goes right back to sleep and did not wake up for hours later. So fast forward, I get back home, and my wife's dad comes over. They come up for the weekend, and I'm like, "Look," I told him the same story. He laughs. I'm like, "Let's check one episode of Tulsa King out. Never seen it. Like, let's try it." So we're in this room, which is my tiki room. I have a TV in it, and we shut the door. We watch one episode. 4 hours later, my wife opens the door. She's like, "What are you guys doing? Like, we're eating dinner.
Fucking
Are you guys
Tulsa King,
still watching
man.
Tulsa King?" We're on like season 3 of Tulsa King, and it has been like hours. It's like being in a casino with no windows. We completely lost track of time. So
Good
Tulsa
for
King
guys.
is that good of a show.
Yeah,
Fucking
it's really
Sylvester, man. But
Yeah,
Rocky
dude.
and shit.
Yeah,
You'll sit
dude.
and watch it.
It was good. It was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Well, you know what? I tell you what. We've talked about movies. We've kicked it around a minute. We should address the white elephant
Wait.
in the room.
Let me do my segue. I have a segue.
Do a segue. Do a segue. Let's do it.
Are you ready for this? Everybody ready for this? Drum roll the segue.
Yep.
So, speaking of plot twists in movies and
There we
changes in plot, we have one of our own. You notice, if you're watching this, you're noticing what's going on. There's 3 of us here. right? There's been some changes here and there. So that this is one of many series of changes that we've had recently. And Ryan, I'm giving it to you now. I got my segue out of the way.
Yeah, good. You got segue. Well, you know what? This is going to be the last change for a hot minute. We, in case you're wondering, Andy is not with us anymore. Andy chose to kind of take a step away. She, and this was her decision. We didn't fire Andy, and there's no animosity. Everything's cool. We're all good with Andy, and she's all good with everyone here. We decided we kind of needed to do a little bit of a shift of change in direction, and we might be talking about some things that might be outside of Andy's wheelhouse. And so she thought maybe for the the good of the podcast and for herself, she's gonna step away. And with that, we decided, because there's been so many changes and so many turnovers and so many weird things happening in the last year, we are not adding any more people to the podcast. The Five Dirty Bikers is officially going to be 3 of us. Dave is welcome back whenever he wants, but Dave's struggling right now. I'm just going to be honest with everybody and put it out there. And so we wish him well. Please wish Dave well. Put out some messages on Discord, that kind of stuff. You can send him some Instagram instant messages, that kind of stuff. Dave needs all of our support, right? And so that's kind of where we are with that situation. We wish Dave well. We want Dave to come back as soon as he can, but we need him to get healthy first. So in that vein, what we kind of decided to do is, we have beat the horse to death, so to speak. We have killed as many topics on motorcycles as we can think of. And that's not to say Prentice just threw a curveball today and dropped it.
That was a good question.
Topic.
I was like,
fucking topic right in our when we're gonna hit that up at sometime here. But we've beat the horse, like I said, to death with motorcycle topics. So we are going to start. We're going to start adjacent to motorcycles. So things that you could connect to motorcycles that people and guys might be interested in. And we're going to talk about some things like that. What I want everyone in the listening community to do is I want you guys to go on to my channel or Prentice's channel, because Tony's not going to answer you back. So go on my channel or Prentice's channel.
Mm-hmm. He ain't lying.
See, I told you. And let us know some topics you'd like the 3 of us to discuss that might be adjacent to motorcycling. So I'm going to put it out there. We're going to talk about EDC at some point. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about overland camping at some point. We're going to try to bring on some guests from the community that know their shit on these topics. We are going to talk about, maybe we're going to talk about cigars. Tony's nephew, if you don't know him, Jeremy Sears, he does Manship Monday and brings a lot of these things to the table. So we're probably going to have Jeremy on and bring some of that stuff to the table. So we're going to start a motorcycle adjacent, and we're going to see how it goes. And if it works out, we might skew completely away from motorcycles, but we're going to bring some more stuff to the table to expand our audience so that you guys have some things to listen to that isn't necessarily completely motorcycle centric. We're always going to circle back if we have a good motorcycle topic. We have one in the bank right now.
Yeah, we
Prentice just gave us today, so we're going to hit that up. I'm gonna start writing shit down in my notebook about topics we can bring up, because we really want to be focused on good content. And I'll tell you where this came from. We've been talking about this for a while, making this shift, and we did the episode on Indian, and we all really liked it. And the reason why we liked it is not because
hang on now, let's not go sucking each other's dicks.
You loved it.
You loved it.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't because we talked about Indian, but it was certainly because we talked about something we haven't talked about before, and we quickly realized that we need to get ourselves entrenched in some things that we would have an opinion on but have never talked about, and so that's kind of where we are. But if you haven't joined Discord, join it, because it's fucking free.
Yep.
So get on Discord. Put it in my channel or Prentice's channel if there's things that you guys want to hear us talk about.
Because even though we all ride motorcycles, we all have interest outside of motorcycles too.
Yeah,
yep.
And there's shit that we do that we ride motorcycles too, right?
Yeah,
it's going to be a part of us no matter what.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's, I know everybody has different hobbies and things that they do outside of motorcycling. So we kind of want to address those, man.
Yeah.
Give us some fresh stuff to talk about. Because like Ryan says, we have We have talked about these two-wheeled bicycles for a long fucking time.
Yeah, and I'm going to put this out to the community because I want you guys to find this person for me. I really, really, really want to have somebody on the podcast that can talk about cooking food over a fire pit, camping food, whatever, because Prentice is living out of a trailer in the weekends now. Tony's overlanding, and my group of guys is fully intending on doing more motorcycle camping this year. And one of the things we love most about that is doing that dinner by the fire. And so if any of you guys follow somebody on Instagram or follow somebody on YouTube and know somebody that we can reach out to, I want somebody that legit has some like serious experience in cooking by a fire, because these are the kind of things that we want to talk about. We want to bring to the table. I personally, for one, am super interested in that kind of topic because we always cook kind of the same shit, and I really love it. But I want to bring some more things to the table. So if you have somebody like that, hit us up. The other thing that we need to say is that. And this is kind of directly related to Dave and kind of our refocus. We do really want to focus on quality of the content that we're putting out there. So with regards to that, we are going to move to an every other week release schedule. But for you guys out there in podcast land, it's really only going to affect you one way. There's really only going to be one less podcast a month because we're still going to do a live, but that live is just going to drop on YouTube as is. So we'll record we're going to record every week, but we're only going to drop our podcast once a week, and then when you throw the live in there,
once every 2 weeks, we're going to drop the podcast once.
Yeah, we're
going to
drop the podcast every 2 weeks. So every other week, a podcast episode will drop. We're going to record every week so we can bank some episodes because we all have lives, and we want to bring our best content to the table. So we're going to do that and then still do a live. So that's kind of going to be the cadence of that moving forward. Just so you all know out there in podcast land, and for you Patreons out there, we're still going to meet with you guys once a month too. So look forward to the patron invite coming on Patreon. So if you want to join, get backstage access, talk to us before the podcast, you can meet us on Patreon. There's a few different levels you can join. Top 2 levels of Patreon get to meet us before we record. So that's where we're at. I guess I hope you guys still embrace it. I hope you guys stick with us. We're going to continue to do motorcycle content, but we're bringing something different to the table.
We're in a transitional period.
Yeah, and we hear you.
You can transition all you want, Tony.
Yeah.
I'm not.
That's not what you told me before the podcast started.
Before the recording button hit. And we know, we know you guys. Like we talk to you guys in the chat daily. We know that, when we do talk about motorcycles, I mean, for the past many years, this has been an American cruiser centric podcast, right? Like we know some of you ride Royal Enfields. I'd like to do an episode on Royal Enfield.
I don't know anybody that rides a Royal Enfield.
I do. I used to. I know a few of them. We know that some of you might ride Triumphs or whatever brand. It'd be cool to just branch out from the stereotypical motorcycle stuff that we've, been listening to and now been hosting, for some time. So it's not going away. I think it just changes in the capacity in which we talk about it. Because again, we love bikes. I live in Daytona. Bike Week's coming up. Like, how the hell am I not going to talk about bikes? Right?
Tony, you should really buy an Enfield so you just strap it on the back bumper of your truck.
Just strap it on there, along with everything else.
That's what I did.
You could just bring it with you when you go overlanding and just drive it in the woods. And if it breaks down, you just leave it there.
Dude, my fucking truck is so heavy now. I couldn't add a fucking P to it.
Yeah. I had when I had my, I think the Himalayan weighed, I think like 400 and something pounds, like low 400s. So I got I think it was a 600-pound hitch mount from Black Widow. And I took that thing everywhere with me. I just put it on, literally wrote it up, set it up on the hitch, strapped it down, and took it to whatever overlanding event I went to or whatever. Yeah, wherever I was camping. It was a lot of fun. That's the one thing I think I don't know how to do now is figure out how to take a 900-pound cruiser on a camping trip because I didn't get a toy hauler for a camper. So
got to get a trailer. The haul behind behind the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Put a hitch on the camper, but I don't know. Well, but then that just opens up a whole new. I just got a tour pack, so maybe there's an entire way of motorcycle camping.
They make that folding trailer, Apprentice. That's really. I don't even remember.
Oh
what
yeah, I've seen that.
But it is.
And you can
it
do
is
it for
really
one or two
handy.
bikes.
Yeah. And those things are pretty dope. They work really well from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Probably
so we have a
hook that up
lot
behind your trailer. Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about, and I'm excited for one on where we're going. I mean, you guys have stuck with us through obviously all the changes, in the recent months, and I think this is just one more thing to we're letting the dust settle, and I think we're in a good spot, and I'm really excited about where we're gonna go, and I really truly hope that you guys are as well. And if you're not, fucking tell us about it.
Right.
Get in there and say like, this sucks, or I'm in. Let's talk about this. I think it's we've always kind of been just 5 or 3 or 2 or however many people are here, people sitting at a bar drinking beer talking shit, and that's what we're gonna be, right? I mean, you want motorcycle content, you know where to find it. You want fucking hairstyling content, you know where to find
episodes. 200 plus
right.
episodes of my motorcycle content.
Right. The other thing too is just so you guys know too, we have no intention on rebranding. Right. It started as a Five Dirty Bikers podcast. That's kind of where we are. And so regardless of how many people we have on here that are hosting the show, that's what we started, and that's what you guys identify with, and that's where it's going to stay, even if it's not. And after this, we have a story to tell, right? Everyone's like, oh, there's only 3 of you. There's only whatever, right? I mean, now we have another story to tell. But
let's go back and listen to the back episodes, fuckers, and figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but again, just to reiterate too, there's no hard feelings. Andy's leaving the podcast was up to her, and we respect that decision, and we wish Andy all the best in all of her future endeavors. But we're gonna soldier forward, and we're gonna find our way around this. So
we're gonna find our groove again, is what we're gonna do with the 3 of us.
It's gonna be how the Five Dirty Bikers got their groove back, and then
I was thinking the same thing, but I couldn't figure out a way to rhyme Stella with that.
Stella.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see some of the topics that we can. I'll be excited to start throwing topics out again outside of the podcast, because it's been for a while of, God, what are we going to talk about? You know what I mean? Then we'd find something, and it was like, well, we did that 4 years ago.
Right.
Or
exactly,
we did it, it was getting just really hard to come up with new stuff. But now we can really get after it.
And let the segue master work once again.
Oh, my
Are you
God.
ready for this?
Okay, yeah.
Speaking of topics, we've already kind of made the transition, because we also want to talk to you and answer your questions. So going to the Five Dirty Bikers podcast questions and topics chat in Discord, one of the most recent questions was literally about people waiting for snow to go away with cabin fever curse, planning on longer trips, right? For instance, Fish85 is planning a longer trip to celebrate the old 40, looking at the list of what to bring. Maybe a good topic,
Well,
a quick
I'll
idea.
tell you what. The snow isn't going anywhere here. We're getting fucking 8 inches Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's fucking
8
just
inches.
icicle fucking cold outside.
Somebody's getting 8 inches in my house later on.
Hey,
what do
hey-o.
Well, what are you going to do it 4 times? Because 4 times 2 is 8.
Brilliant. That was brilliant.
I appreciate that, Tony. I think my face got a little hot with that one, Tony.
Well, you
That's
know.
awesome.
Just
4 times.
keeping it real.
You don't have it in you. You don't
Yeah,
have it in you to go 4 times.
4 times?
Dude, those fucking. You better give me a
25 years
month.
ago.
You better give me a month to be able to knock that out.
Yeah.
25 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, no shit.
God damn.
Throw your back out now.
Shit.
What happened? I threw my hip out.
Something. Get your reading glasses on.
Fuck.
I have to get some of those.
Oh.
So let's throw it.
getting
Speaking
there.
of that, you segued us. So let's
Yeah,
get to some
so
of these.
that's it.
Let's get to some of these podcast questions. You guys have thrown a bunch of questions out there. Somebody on here named Tuna throwing out questions. Let's read some questions.
Yeah. So let's go with Fish85's. I'll read it verbatim out of the chat.
Do it.
Since we are waiting for the white stuff to stop flying in the masturbation mitten, fighting the cabin fever curse, I was planning a longer road trip to celebrate the old 40.
Yeah.
Looking at my list of what to bring, maybe a good topic or quick idea is what would be a refresher of what you bring on a longer road trip, and what can't you live without? What routes please the senses, and what ones would you avoid? I'm Casey Kasem.
Well,
you might have dated yourself there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right to one of our sponsors and say my wild ass seat. I go on a long trip. I don't leave home without it.
Mine's on the way. By the way.
Oh, good.
Yours
good.
on the way.
Straight away. That's my go-to. And I've said it before. But however, okay, so I've said this that I don't think they're the most flattering things on your bikes. Yeah. If you have an idea and you do not like your cover, I have it on good authority. You might be able to reach out to the owner of the company and get a custom cover made. Really? I'm not saying that they will or they won't, but I'm saying
are you telling tales out of school again?
Nope. Last year at Sturgis, Tony, he had right. you were not there. He had custom covers. He had one made out of a Dixon flannel. He had one made out of a T-shirt. He had one with a leather covering on it. So I'm just saying, and he bought a sewing machine. So if you wanted a custom cover, I would bet you could reach out to them, and you might have to pay some dough for it. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's going to be cheap, but you could get a custom cover to match your bike. Prentice, you could probably get something in that nice flattering green color you have on your bike.
Yeah, something Irish. He's coming. He'll be here.
Something with a dildo
Craig, he'll be here.
in it.
Yeah, you should
we've already got it linked up. They actually, just a shout out to the local Harley dealer for putting his display on in prime real estate. When I walked in the other day, because they're prepping for Bike Week in Daytona.
Yeah, good.
I walked in just to see, I get in and buy my T-shirts before the crazy lines get here. Mm-hmm. It's always the way to do it. Pro tip, if you live in the area. So I went in to do that, and they had wild-ass display. I mean, that was the first thing I saw when I walked in.
That's awesome.
It was right up front. They gave him a whole island, so he'll be happy to know that. Actually, I need to go take a picture of it.
And I'm gonna tell you all this, and not because I'm gonna tell you that Craig supports our podcast, but I have endorsed the product for a very long time, and I put a shit ton of miles on it. But on the other side of that flip side of that coin too, he is a good dude. And I really like the company, and I really like the people involved with it. And they made a sweatshirt that he put out last year that I fucking love. I didn't buy one because I bought one of they put out some new shirts, some new T-shirts that are really cool, hand drawn by his wife, and they're super cool, kind of like a child, like a child drew them. I absolutely love them. But their sweatshirt has a beer pocket. So you have your hand warmers, and then right in the middle, there's a beer pocket where you can slide your beer right down the middle of that center pocket.
Nothing better going down the expressway with a beer and on your chest.
That's what I'm saying. There's that beer pocket right there in your front.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun bike week.
Yep.
Going to be a fun bike week in the clink.
Yeah. So they have
Five Dirty Bikers does not condone riding and drinking.
No.
At the same time, of course.
They have some pretty cool merch, but so that would be
condone drinking.
That'd be the first thing. Would be my wild ass seat.
I agree.
Depending on the season of the year too, I oftentimes pack my heated gear whether I need it or not. Just because I never kind of know what kind of weather I'm going to run in, and I've said it before a million times. You guys already know it. I have a really hard time regulating my body temperature with cold weather, and so even though I live in the Great White North, I don't like to ride in cold weather, and so I bring my heated gear.
Let me tell you what. I don't care what time of year it is. Depending on where you're going, it can get fucking cold.
Yeah,
I found that out when I went to Colorado.
Yep.
I went in fucking July and it was freezing.
Yep.
Dude, and when I lived in Los Angeles, it was almost infuriating how it would be like 70s and beautiful in the day, and then it would drop to low to mid 50s at night. So you'd be in a sleeveless T-shirt, whatever, riding in the daytime, go to the beach, you're fine. And by the time you rode home, you'd freeze your balls off. And I always hated that.
Yep.
Yeah. So definitely that. If any, dress, bring some kind of layer of any form, right?
I think it all depends on what he's doing too. I mean, are we going on just a trip and we staying in hotels? Are we motorcycle camping?
True.
I mean,
yeah.
Right.
What are we? There's a big thing. I would say everybody needs, and when you go on a road trip, is fucking tools. A patch kit, a pump, basic fucking tools. I mean,
Yep. And there is a kit out there. There is a toolkit on Amazon, and I don't normally support Amazon, but for motorcycle parts in general. But there's a toolkit. Cruise Tools makes a toolkit.
Yep.
That is specific to either Harley cruisers or Harley baggers, and it's a very basic toolkit, but it's going to have most of the tools that you need for most roadside repairs.
Just for little shit, and I would say a plug kit and some type of
air
battery-powered pump.
Yep.
Yeah, I have the Alexan, and I love it. I actually used the Lexan this week. We had a blowout on our camper, first maiden voyage, and we had a blowout on it. And I used the Lexan to air up the spare because rookie mistake. Always check your spares.
Yep.
So of course I didn't check it, but the Lexan comes in clutch. I have the Lexan, and then I also have a jump pack for the battery.
I was going to say that next, like a NOCO or something. They make a motorcycle specific one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, man, it's one of those things to where you don't need it till you do.
Yep.
And then when you do need it, you'll thank God that you have it.
Yep. Just make sure if you're going to get a NOCO and you've changed over to a lithium battery, make sure it works with the lithium battery.
Oh yeah.
Because I will tell you, not based on my experience, but I've heard that there have been a few people that have put lithium batteries in their bikes and then they use the same trickle charger. You need a lithium specific trickle charger for it.
It's a completely different animal with that. But they also make a pigtail that you can hook up for those things that make life a lot easier. If you do have to jump your bike, you don't have to, try to access the post on your bike. You can just plug it in just like you do a trickle charger and jump your bike.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, those are good things. I think Prentice had mentioned it a while ago too, and this is personal preference, but I'm not opposed to it. A first aid kit is not a bad idea.
Oh, always, dude.
That's not a bad idea.
That was literally what my response. I keep a cat tourniquet and quick clot as a paramedic. Like those are the two things you need bleeding control, and I have had to use them. And witnessing an accident, I've actually had
that
to
would be
use
actually a good topic to get on to get a first aid company on.
Yeah,
I use this stuff called My Medic. If you know anything about those guys, but they make very specific kits, and we're talking. When I think of motorcycles, I'm not thinking of Band-Aids and fucking Neosporin. I'm thinking of bleed control, tourniquets.
Yep.
Israeli bandages
and burn kits.
Yeah,
and burn. Yeah. The other thing, and I don't know if you guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
I was just thinking because if you're breaking out a first aid kit on a motorcycle, it's usually, you need some shit. You know what I mean? A fucking Band-Aid's not going to do it.
Yep. And I know everybody's a little bit different, and the gear that they wear and the safety gear and that kind of stuff. But on a long trip, I always bring 2 pairs of gloves. If you get caught in the rain or whatever, there's really nothing worse than riding your bike in a wet pair of gloves. So I always have a second pair of gloves. I usually bring a short pair and then a longer gauntlet pair. Provided I'm not having my heated gear with heated gloves. And then, and I don't know if you guys are vest guys, but I am. I like wearing a vest. And so that's the other thing that I bring on almost all my trips is a vest.
I have a vest.
You also live in Florida, so I would guess that they're hot as balls and probably not something you're wearing all the time.
A vest wouldn't be too bad in Florida. I wouldn't think.
I wear only in the summer. I wear only a vest. Like I wear just a denim cut.
Okay,
and that's it.
Yep. And I know. And if you're looking for companies out there, I really like First Manufacturing. I have a First Manufacturing custom leather vest, and I also have a First Manufacturing canvas and leather vest.
But they're going through changes right now, right? Like because their shit's like 50% off right now, like everything.
Oh wow! Okay, there you go.
Something I don't know. Like, don't quote me, but I don't know if they're like
they have those big sales all the time, though. Yeah.
Okay. They do on occasion do.
Usually this time of year.
It's kind of like the Ruroc helmet company. You really should never buy a Ruroc at full price because they go on sale all the time.
6 months later, it's on sale because the new one's coming out. It's like GoPro.
Exactly. So, so those are some things. What else would you guys say you'd bring on a trip?
A non-tinted, a clear shield if you ride with a tinted shield on your full face.
Yeah.
Or
I fucked up and
you get the fucking that one I have on the Ruroc. What do you call it? It changes.
Transitions.
A transition.
That's
visor. Cool. Yeah.
I could deal with that.
I have a feeling
it's real nice.
For me, the transition visors never go dark. But I went with I ran one of those like silver, like the super dark with the silver, like the completely silver
like the mirror
reflection
finish
on the outside, the mirror finish.
Iridium or something they call it.
Well, no, I switched back to Iridium last year. Yeah. And I like the Iridium better. To me, it filters out more of the ultraviolet light that kind of makes that's not great for my eyes, and it brightens everything up. And so I switched to one of those last year, and I really enjoy it. So, but I would agree with Prentice. I've been caught without one before. For a long time, I used to bring just clear glasses so I could put my visor up and put the clear glasses on. But I also got caught in a couple times where it was either raining or really fucking cold, and I wanted that visor down, and I couldn't do it because I didn't have my clear glasses. So that's another thing that you should probably consider is some type of clear versus tinted lens for your helmet. If you're a helmet guy.
Well, and that's the other part. If you don't have, we're also, anticipating that everyone has a bagger or like that amount of storage.
Yeah.
If you don't have that amount of storage, let's talk about those that literally might carry a backpack or like just have something.
Dude, you have to go
like
light.
a handlebar bag. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to go light and fast. I mean, that's the thing. And here's the deal. You're never any place where you can't find a fucking Walmart.
True.
You know what I mean? You're never at any time more than a half an hour away from a fucking store, pretty much. That was one of the things I figured out when I started doing this overlanding thing is I was loading so much shit in the truck, like food and stuff like that. And when I got there, I was like, there's a fucking store 5 minutes away. Why am I hauling all this stuff?
Right.
So, I mean, that's the thing. You need to go out and you need to figure out what you need. And then if you do need it, you can always buy it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
here's
and
a
add
pro
to
tip.
your kit. Yeah.
If you have absolutely no storage but pockets on your person, always carry extra key fob batteries.
No, boy.
At least one.
Or know your code.
One key fob battery.
Know your fucking code on your bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing too that I would mention. So this person that you were talking about, Prentice, he mentioned like a 40th birthday coming up, going on an epic trip. Get off the fucking super slab. Don't take the interstate everywhere you go. Get on a road that you don't know where it's going and follow that road for a hot minute. Because that's where the excitement's at. It's not on the super slab, right? The super slab is really how you get from one place to another. But the roads that are interesting, the roads that are going to bring you to a cafe in a small town that you've never been to, the roads that you're gonna bump into interesting people, they're not the fucking interstate, right?
You need to forget about destinations and embrace the ride there,
the travel
there.
Embrace the travel, And we have started doing that with my group of guys too. Is just embracing the travel, right? We have to do the super slab to get where we're going, but we've really learned to embrace the travel a little bit or a little bit more, and that makes the trip, right? So many times when we've gone to FDBM or different things, like our stories come from the travel. They don't come from the destination. More times than not.
Yeah, and I mean every now and again you got to buckle up and get on the super slab for so long, but
yep.
Go off the beaten path, man.
Yep. It's just going to happen. I mean, that's shit you have to be prepared for. I mean, I was with we went on a trip, the four of us. There was two of us coming back together because we had to all separate, and a fucking semi-trailer blew a tire. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this because Tony, I think, heard the story before, but the tire exploded. So it didn't blow off or peel off. It literally exploded off of the semi into pieces, and they were bouncing all over the place. And we were dodging them, and I got like hit with a piece of tire in my calf, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I mean, it exploded. I'm glad we weren't next to it, but you kind of have to be prepared for that, right? The road's going to bring you some adventure, for sure. Fucking
let's move on to the next question,
station.
Man.
Yeah.
We
have a hot dog at a gas station.
Well. Hot dog water. That's that's dating us there, Ryan.
Yeah. Oh man, that brings us all the way back.
Yeah, the hot dog water. All right, give us another one, Prentice.
Okay, let's see what we got here in terms of questions. Let's go back. Because we are an opinionated bunch.
We are an opinionated bunch. I'll tell you what. We're talking about the travel and what's it take. I went through a whole thing with coffee.
Oh boy.
Trying to figure out how to make good coffee when I was out. Yeah, I
just used the old.
Did you find the solution to good coffee, Tony?
I did.
What is it?
I found this company called BrewTech that makes a French press.
Oh, well, what's your coffee of choice to use in the French press?
I don't give a shit. It was just making a decent cup because I tried percolators and they were a fucking pain in the ass with dealing with the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I tried some of that high dollar instant stuff, which I wouldn't, I'd wash my ass with that. Really, it's awful.
So one way to get your caffeine.
It is, but yeah, no, I went through a whole fucking thing with coffee. I probably spent more money than I needed to, but I have a lot of different ways to make it. I can tell you that.
I've been a fan of Black Rifle in the
Black Rifle's delicious, dude.
Yeah, I
like Bones.
Black Rifle.
Bones Coffee Company is great. They have one called the Highland Grog, and it's like an Irish cream coffee. Which, while we're on the subject of coffee, I'm going to say it. Who the fuck makes an Irish cream anymore? No one makes Irish cream
Bailey's.
Anymore. No, but I mean, just like let's the Irish cream that your kids can drink in the morning. But right. I can't find it anywhere. If you find Irish cream, let me know where it is. And maybe mail me some, make that work.
What was that? What was the next question?
The next question is, and this is going back to the reveals, right?
Okay.
This comes from Master of None Moto.
Okay.
Looking forward to HD's mid-year reveals because we know the early reveals sucked balls. That was mine, not him. Do you think they will make a lowrider ST even more touring capable? Larger tank, digital display, GPS in the front fairing, etc. No. Because then it's cutting into the market share of their backers.
Yeah. And that's the bike that they made the most changes to this year. With I talked ad nauseum on all the things I loved about that, all the changes they made to that bike. So I think it's plenty touring capable. I don't know what you're talking, what this guy.
If you want a touring bike, buy a touring bike. The ST isn't designed to be it's designed to be a light tour.
It's a baby bagger, right?
It's a baby bagger.
It's a sport tour, just like the FXR was in 1985. Yeah. It's a sport touring bike. So, yeah, it has. But I tell you what, I mean, even when we go on our long trips, we're stopping every 120 miles. That's how you're gonna get a long day out of a long day.
Yeah.
Is stopping and giving your body a chance to rest. You can ride a lot more miles by doing it that way.
Stop at a Buc-ee's. Enjoy the experience.
Have a hot dog.
Yep. Fuck.
Have a barbecue sandwich. Now that is one food I pay for the next day, but I love it and I can't quit them.
A Buc-ee's barbecue sandwich.
Buc-ee's barbecue sandwich. It tears my ass up every
time. The brisket or the pork or what?
Both. It doesn't matter. I've tried both.
Buc-ee's isn't bad, dude. I'll say
no, it's great. I love it. It's just my body doesn't.
I like diving in the beaver.
Yeah.
Those beaver nuggets.
Yeah. Beaver nugs.
Those beaver nugs are good.
What are they? What are they?
They're like a
are they like cheese
caramel. Do you remember the Pop cereal? Like the Pops?
Yeah.
Corn Pops?
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Just different flavors. Yeah.
It like a caramel corn, but like
it's like a puffy caramel corn thing.
Yep.
It's fucking good, dude. I mean, I'll dive down on a beaver all day long.
Yeah, buddy.
I bet you
I'll come up with beaver dust in my beard.
Beaver dust. Good God Almighty. Okay. Third time's a charm, says Candlelight Bite in the podcasting topics on Discord, which you should be joining. What is the most forgetful for something you should have brought moment you've had for a long rider? What is the most key fob batteries?
Key fob batteries.
Yeah. The most forgetful moment that I've had for a long ride.
I'm pretty prepared with my shit, dude. I carry a lot of stuff with me.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm an existentialist a lot. Like I'm like you, Tony, to your point of like, if I forgot it, fuck it. Like I'll find it somewhere.
I'll buy it.
Right? Like,
I'll stop and get it. You're never the only time that I didn't have the problem, and I forgot who I was even with, but their key fob went down, just like you said, but they didn't know their fucking code.
Yeah.
So that was a problem.
That's when you need the batteries.
Yeah.
I'd say that's pretty Like, I mean, that's like, fuck, I don't have,
Okay, so pro tip, like Prentice said earlier, if you know the number for the Harley dealership you bought your bike at, Harley dealerships have a dealer code in addition to the code that you've changed your bike to. You should call the dealership and ask for your dealer code, and they'll give you a code that you can get into your bike if you don't know your code.
Pro tip. Or go out to your garage and set your fucking code.
And set your code. Yeah, and know what it is. Write it down in your manual. My wife found my code the last time I needed it because I did get myself stranded. So
YouTube is your friend.
Yeah. So
speaking of YouTube, this video will also be live on YouTube. Not live, but
this motherfucker would segue into anything, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
You know what?
I had a fucking Gilligan picture behind him.
Yeah. You're gonna have to get over Gilligan.
Head.
I can't get over Gilligan because it looks like he's just on a pecker hunt.
That's right.
He's got his hand up there, just looking for one. Just
Me too. Most nights.
What's above Gilligan?
That is what is that one? That is the Frankenstein at a tiki bar.
Frankenstein at
I
used to have a tiki bar in my old house in my basement.
Yeah, I have an honest to God tiki bar. I'll give you guys a tour sometime.
I had the full blown one. As you go back to some of my older videos, I used to film down there. I had a goddamn thatch roof and lights and parrots and shit I had under there. It was serious business.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Apprentice, by the way, Easter weekend, we've confirmed. Plane tickets bought, hotel stay bought.
Yes.
We're going to be there Easter weekend, so just so you know.
Where?
Yes. All right.
Daytona. We're going to Daytona this year.
Daytona.
So we're going to be on that side of the island.
I'm excited.
Hang on, guys. Hang on. I got to answer this phone.
Oh boy, listen to this guy.
Here we go. Yeah.
He's super busy. He didn't even mute it either, so now we're going to have to listen to his phone.
Hello. Oh yeah.
You better
okay.
mute it, Tony.
He did. We're good. So Ryan, let's go back to Oh No Forgetful because we talked about batteries.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of honest to God, like, oh, my heart dropped, I forgot it.
Yeah.
Cell phone.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Especially like before I had a mount and I just put it in a bag. Like I've ridden a good hour or two before I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
At that point it's just gone. But
I do, especially for a long trip, I start packing about 2 days before my trip.
Yeah.
And so, and I would say this, and I know this about myself. I'm pretty self-aware. I'm a notorious overpacker, so I always have more socks and underwear than I need. Oftentimes even more shirts than I need. So that is something that I know about myself. So I've never really forgotten clothes. For me, it's been toiletries. So like a contact solution or deodorant or something like that. That's always been my oh shit moment. In fact, I wasn't on a motorcycle trip, but on a different trip, I forgot my glasses. I have terrible vision.
Yeah,
and
same.
so I forgot my glasses. And so at night when I took my contacts out, I couldn't see shit. So
that would be oh no, and I've done that before. That would definitely be oh no.
So those are probably the things, but I think that for the most part, I don't get myself too worked up about those things too. I would be with the same thing that you guys. If I don't have it, I just go buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've forgotten a belt on occasion, and that's not great for long trips on a bike. You know what I mean? You probably I always need to have a belt on, but for the most part, there hasn't really been that oh shit moment like I forgot. I've forgotten to do things before. Like I was on a long trip one time, and I knew I wanted to change my oil before the trip, and I didn't do it, and I was running on oil that was pretty old. So I changed the oil middle of the trip.
I'm doing that now, but you know why? Because during bike week, there's a dyno company that comes out here, and I love Klotz oil, and that's all I use anymore. I love it. So I do my oil changes at the house. I did the last one. But like when they come down, they do like a 3-hole service, and it's actually pretty good deal if you do, just like have done dynos with them and know them. So I'm just like waiting on that. Like I know I need to do it, and I could order it and do it cheaper. But it's so nice just to like stop in, leave your bike and walk around for a bit, come back and have a 3-hole oil change. I love that.
Yeah. Especially if they do the 3-holer for you, then it's worth every nickel, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I am absolutely
not hard,
that.
It's just kind of a pain in the ass more than anything.
Yeah. Right, I don't have a lift yet, so.
Oh yeah.
A lift.
You really don't need a lift. The easiest thing, Prentice, is just one of those. Get a flapjack center stand thing and just crank it up.
Yeah,
that's all
I could do.
Really
yeah,
need.
That's what I need.
It's great.
And honestly, that's just it. I mean, it's not that, and it's not even that it's hard to do because I just do it on the side stand. But it's just like I'm tired of getting down and doing shit. Like I'm tired of laying down and getting.
Yeah, dude. We did a whole
We're talking about oil changes. We're talking about I'm letting mine go too far right now because there's a company that comes through that does dynos, but they do Klotz 3-hole Klotz oil changes, and they give me a pretty good deal. So I'm waiting on them to come back through to do it.
I'll tell you what, man, it's almost worth it to go have it done these days because fucking oil is so much money if you buy it. Fuck.
Yeah. And these guys, I mean, Bike Week, they're just like, they have deals every fucking where on everything. Yeah.
That's good.
It's crazy. And it's not like it fucking these Harleys only hold a quart. They hold fucking 85 gallons of oil.
Right. That flapjack though, Prentice, that's worth its weight in gold. We did a whole cam change on my bike with a flapjack right in the middle of Tony's garage.
Yeah. Really? Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love those things. Now I couldn't stand up for a week after that, but you know, it gets the job done.
Yeah, I actually bought a Harbor Freight ATV lift thing that has the flat things on it, and then it has another one, and it's a pump up one. That actually works really, really good. I go on the other side of the bike and pump it up, and it's one of those things. It really freaks out your brain because you have your bike on the side stand, you slide it underneath there, and you pump it up, and your bike starts to tip up straight, and then it lands on the jack, but you feel like it's going to fucking tip over on top of you.
Yeah.
Well, if you leave your bike on the jack, your battery will go dead. So just letting you know, you got to deactivate your security thing.
Oh yeah.
If you leave it on a jack, your battery goes dead?
Yeah, because your bike's upright and it thinks that it's
moving.
Moving.
Oh.
Tow mode or whatever you got to.
Yeah, you got to go into tow mode, and that way it won't go dead. I mean, if you just to change oil or something, you don't have to worry about it. But if you jack it up and you leave it overnight or something, you'll go back the next day and that motherfucker will be dead as a doornail.
Except for you guys with FXRs and all the bikes that doesn't have this new technology.
Yeah, you got to go into tow mode.
Exactly. Yeah, sorry guys, hang on. I forgot to put my bike in tow mode.
Yeah,
we're such fucking nerds.
I did that.
Can't we buy old shit and have fun with it? You know?
I did that shit, and I forgot what I did to my bike, but I took it off, and I was like, oh fuck! I was like, I killed it. I thought I killed it.
That's so funny. The first world problems that we have riding modern motorcycles, right? Oh God.
Well, dude, mine's on a trickle charger for fucking 6 months a year, so my battery
that's
is
where
well
mine
conditioned.
is. It's been so shitty here.
I can't fathom what it's like not to, because I've never lived anywhere up north. I've only lived in the southern hemisphere of the United States, so I've literally.
Well, Tennessee gets a little chippy.
Yeah, but I rode. Unless there was ice, I rode. The coldest I've ever ridden, but that's the thing. The coldest, even then, that I ever rode in was 14 or something.
Dude, that's fucking insane. Why would you even do that?
That's cold enough.
That's
I was young,
cold,
dude. I was in my 20s, man. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, he was.
It
was 14 degrees, but he had such a big erection from riding a Harley.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeping him warm.
Not me, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't fun, but it was necessary because when I lived in, I hadn't bought a car yet. When I lived in I sold my car when I moved to Los Angeles and bought the bike. And between Los Angeles, San Diego, and Vegas, I didn't have a car for 7 years. And then when I moved back to Nashville is when I moved in the winter. So I was like, well, I got to ride because I got to go to work. So fuck it, I rode. It sucked. I looked like one of those kids that have the 15 layers on that walk like you're in a bubble, at every layer imaginable and warm gear. But
20 something was the coldest I rode, and that's because I had to, because I bought that Street Bob in January and had to get it home. And I got home and I was like, fuck this, man.
Yeah. I'm getting now I'm at the point where I'm even in Florida, it's when it gets down to low 40s, I'm like, fuck, I'm good. I don't have to ride today.
In Florida when it gets that cold.
That's very true. They actually do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's God damn, the heat's not working.
Mm-hmm.
They really do.
Yeah.
But I can't, even then I can't, so what I mean, I've never lived anywhere for any length of time that it was that cold. Most of my riding life so far, I've ridden for 12 or 13 years. Most of that was spent in Southern California and Florida, really. I only lived for a couple of months in Tennessee. And then the second time I went back to Tennessee, I had a car. So, yeah, that's it, man. I don't know what it's like for fucking negative 20 or whatever it is for you guys right now.
I grew up down South Florida, and I didn't move up here till I was 21. So when I moved up here, the first winter, I was like, this is great. It's not fucking 100 degrees every day. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah. I do love the winter though. I like it for as long as I'm in it, and then I'm like, all right, I'm good. Give me 3 or 4 days of it, snow and shit to play and have fun, and then I'm ready to go back home.
First snow, you know what I mean? Because it's pretty and it's cool. But now we've had it for so long, I'm over it. It's okay, enough snow. Done with it.
And you just got hit again, right?
We're getting hit again Wednesday. We got 4 inches yesterday, and then we didn't get any snow today. But tomorrow afternoon it's going to start snowing again. They're saying 6 to 8 inches between tomorrow afternoon and Wednesday morning again, and then we're down in the single digits the rest of the week and the weekend. So,
is there still snow where you are, Ryan?
Oh fuck, dude! It's right now. It's negative 27.
Yeah, no, I saw it on the
negative
news,
27.
With the wind chill,
You guys are in the deep freeze.
It's gnarly out right now. Like my wife she took my truck to work today. She started it in the morning before work. She started at lunchtime, and then she started it before she came home, just so that fucker would start, dude. It was negative 20.
How the fuck do you even live? How do you live?
It was negative 22 when we got up this morning.
You ever watch that shit on
Air
YouTube
temperature.
of like people that live in like the coldest places on earth where it's like fucking 70 below and shit? It's so interesting to watch that shit because
How do you not die.
Well, they don't have plumbing.
Yeah.
Because it's too fucking cold, it'll freeze.
Yeah, everything freezes.
No, dude, Tony, our plumbing comes in our houses 15 feet underground.
No, but I mean like these places I watch on YouTube where it's like 70 below and shit.
Yeah.
They don't have
Ryan's not
plumbing.
that far off. If you think about it, Ryan's closer to that than he is to the 90 degrees that it was here the other day.
So
and I watched this. Oh, go ahead.
It was just to say, the coldest I've ever experienced was in my lifetime. I've been negative 40 air temperature. It was negative 65 with the wind chill. That's the coldest I've ever experienced. And I'm here to tell you, every speck of your skin needs to be covered by something. Otherwise, it freezes in minutes, right? Literally freezes in minutes. If you blink, you have to continue to blink your eyes. Otherwise, your tears will freeze your eyes shut. Like, it's fucking,
oh my
you have
God,
to keep something
dude.
over your mouth because you cannot breathe in the cold air because you'll frostbite your lungs inside of your body because the air is so fucking cold. Like that's
nuts.
They always send out warnings when it gets around that negative 20 that's always on the news. Like it's telling people if you're jogging or don't jog outside, make sure your mouth is covered. You can't breathe in that cold air. You'll frostbite your lungs.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
It's so, but we don't experience that so much, but like January, right now we're in like what we call like the doldrums of winter. The last 2 weeks in January, the first 2 weeks in February, our weather's fucked. It's, like we'll go 15, 18 days where it doesn't even get to be zero. It's like below dude. The whole time. Yeah. So it's been a hot minute now. It's been like 10 days where it's been below zero or colder. And I shit you not, it'll get to be 40. Like in a week and a half, it's supposed to be 40. You'll see people going into Walmart with fucking shorts and T-shirts on.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Sure.
Because it's a 60-degree temperature change.
Yeah.
So your body just is like, you're like, oh, fuck, I can't wear this hot coat because I'm dying here.
Yeah.
I was in Minnesota and those motherfuckers were running around in 20 degrees like it was 100 outside.
Yeah. Well, and I told Nick this a few years ago when it was his first winter, and you have to like acclimate your body. He came over to my house and he had like a hat on and gloves and his winter coat and everything. And I go, Nick, it's 30 degrees outside, dude. I'm like, take your fucking hat off, take your gloves off. I said, put on a light coat. He's like, I'm gonna freeze my ass off. I go, no, dude. I go, your body has to get used to this, because if you don't wear a light jacket and get your body used to the cold, when it does get cold, you'll never stay warm. You have to like have two coats for winter.
That's the reason I eat the seal blubber, man.
Cold. Oh yeah, one for when it's really fucking cold and one for when it's just cold. Because if you don't, you'll never stay warm.
It's so funny because we dress like that when it's 50 degrees. Today, we have a cold front coming through right now, and it is currently 54. The high today was 61. The low was 52. And we were in jackets and like beanies and boots and
also your shit's a little different down there to where he has the extreme for like the heat and the thing. When our house when we lived down in Boca, I mean, we didn't have central heat in the house.
Yeah.
Each room had like a little dial and it had like heat in the ceiling.
That's true.
That it would radiate down because it never got it didn't get cold. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what it was like when I lived in Los Angeles. We didn't have central heat or air because it was a coastal house. There was a heat wave. It hit like 115 I felt like dying. Like it was
we had
constantly
air conditioners.
98 degrees in the house.
Yeah.
We had air conditioners.
Yeah.
Our houses are built different though too, Prentice. Like our walls are 6 to 8 inches thick. Like the external walls of our house, they're built like that because you can't. If it's not, you can't survive.
You can't. Yeah, you won't be able to insulate.
It's just too cold. And so we also run like a flex program for our heating and cooling. If you don't, your fucking heat bill in January is going to be $900 a month.
Oh my God.
So you run a flex bill so that you're paying the same price all year long and you don't have to worry about your heat. And then you have 2 makeup months a year where you make up that difference. But you have to do it, otherwise you're straight fucked. It's just it's too
fucking
ridiculous.
Winter sucks. So we have another question. Where are we? Are we done?
No, we're done. That's it.
Is that the Loch Ness monster next to Gilligan? Or is that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? What is that?
No, that's Gilman. That's from The Creature of the Black Lagoon.
That's where I was
He's like
going.
the
I couldn't
center
remember
point.
where I was going with that. I knew it was something like that.
He's in almost everything, almost every like picture or something that I have, he's in at some length. So yeah.
Do you have a tattoo of him too, or what?
No, I don't have one of him. No, not yet. My friend does actually. I did an AI art for my friend, and he got that tattooed on him.
Nice.
It's Creature in a motorcycle helmet, 3/4 helmet.
Have you seen those fucking tattoo robots? I saw that shit the other day.
No.
There's no artist. You fucking program it like a 3D printer.
Really?
And the guy had his arm under there, and it was just fucking knocking the tattoo out, dude. Fucking printer style.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
I'd get it done. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the motherfucker's making perfect stars. I can tell you that.
Sure. All right. Well, we said a lot here, guys.
Yeah, dude.
Actually, we said a lot, but we didn't say anything.
That's okay.
True. But that's it.
That's how we roll.
Like, I had fun, and that's what it's about.
Yep. No. So changes are coming.
Yeah.
I'm not coming. They're here.
They're here.
They're here.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Welcome.
I'm excited about getting some of these other guests on and bringing something different to the table. I am really excited about that.
Yeah, for sure. And as always, we're still available. We're all on. Most of us. Tony has an Instagram. I don't know that he uses it, but we're all on social media.
You know what?
We're
if
all
you
on
DM
Discord.
me, sometimes I'll answer it.
Yeah,
He's Tony's
Most
an
of the time I
asshole.
won't. Yeah.
we're around.
I
Go
just
to
don't
Discord.
do a lot of that shit anymore, man.
Well, that's all right.
Yep. Go to Discord. Join Discord. It's fucking free.
Yep.
I look
Talk
at
to us on
Discord
there.
every now
Do
and
the
again.
things.
So I answered some shit the other day in Discord. I was in there.
Yeah. Tell your friends. 5 Dirty Bikers are switching it up.
That's right.
Switching it up.
And it will. I mean, and we're gonna have fun with this. Like, this is supposed to be fun. If we're not having fun, why the fuck are we doing it? Right?
That's
Absolutely.
where I'm at.
We're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna have fun with you. You're gonna have fun with us. It's gonna be a great time.
Yep. It's going to be one giant circle jerk.
And
That's
fuck off. I don't know about a circle jerk. I mean, he's talking about reach arounds over here, man.
yeah.
That's serious call right there.
That's right.
I
And if
just,
you're in the area,
I just don't want to be the pivot man.
if
You don't want to be. You don't want to be guy number 5 in the circle.
Here's the thing.
yeah.
I don't want to be the pivot man, and I don't want to go first because I don't want to be thinking about it the whole time.
no, if I go first, I'm out. Like I'm finished. I'm done. See you guys. My
Have a
work
good
here's
time.
done. Yeah.
Have a good time.
Enjoy yourselves. I came. I saw. I came. I left.